Yeah, we about ready to move. We're about to move to the spiritual portals. Cause I was so you can. I'm gonna let you kind of more so direct that one because that's what you know the most of. Well, then all of us we're gonna kind of more so be the listeners and give our takes on it on what's said.
Okay, so I just want to get on here and warn people, even though, a lot of the leaders say that I shouldn't, because, it's secret and it's esoteric for a reason. And this is why, I haven't reached certain levels that I'm supposed to reach or supposed to be because, quote, I talk too much, but I feel like people deserve to know. It's portals that's opening, and I told people that it always can be supported by facts. And when I talk about this subject, that's why I was telling you, Jamie, I'm like, I don't like to talk about it because spiritually people try to attack me because for some reason if it applies to them the truth hurts, so they'll come in and attack me. And I have to be very selective because like I say, some people are shallowly, not that deep. But it's a portal that's open, these entries, these openings, and these deities are allowed to come through. And people don't notice. In fictional movies, it's a lot of the truth, but they fictionalized it to deceive you. So I just want to warn people right now that these portals are open, and it's open and open yesterday. I'm still trying to determine, and I need people help. If you about to experience this or it's about to happen to you, don't be shy, talk about it, because I'm trying to determine which entities come through at a certain time. I know it has to do with planetary alignment. So a lot of people are about to start getting eight. When I say eight this week, they're about to be getting fed on by these entities that's coming through these portals because human are cattle, they food for these entities that come through this portal. So when they call it sleep paralysis, the government know it's not sleep paralysis. They know you being attacked by these deities. And this week, this portal is open. So a lot of y'all, now I'm speaking in general, you're about to be sitting, laying in the bed, stuck, can't move. And these things are nocturnal, right? I'm talking about the nocturnal ones. They're gonna feed off of you. And it's crazy because it's like an energy that been created. I can feel it. That's why I was telling him, like, you got to be careful. But a lot of people are about to get fed off of tonight. You're going to be angry. You're not going to know why. You're going to wake up angry. You're going to try to attack people spiritually. You're going to hate what you see when you look in the mirror. You're going to have nightmares up until I think the portal closed. Hold on, I'm about to check, right? Damn, I can't check because I'm using my phone. I think the portal closed. What's today, the 5th?
Like you said, if I'm not when we were speaking, I think you said it was the 8th or the ninth.
It's going to close on the 8th or the 9th. So, um, that's what I wanted to talk about. But I don't want to go too deep. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on. Esoteric wise, it's these other entities that exist on this planet, but like I said, this is deep, and if you shallow, you won't understand. You're going to try to attack me, and that's the thing that I have to prepare myself for, because they can't really like me, they can't really like attack me. It's for a reason, but they can try, but they'll get angry. So I'm just trying to warn people that this week, and it's when if it happened to you, or when it happened to you, like I say, everything is going to be supported by facts. You'll know what it is, and you can always contact me. You can ask me questions. I'll explain to you what I know. But a portal is open. A lot of people, brace yourself. You're about to get ate. They're about to eat you. I don't know which one's coming through. You got the grays that come through. When the grays come through, they feed off of you in herds. They take turns. They speak English and they speak their other language. And they're curious. So when three standing over you, feeding off of you, and you sitting there, you stuck, you frozen, you can't move, you trying to wake yourself up, they're gonna be tearing your ass up. I don't know if them the ones that's coming through. Then you got the ones that come through, they fucking you. They sex demons. If you women, they sucking on your breast, they giving you dick. If you're men, they riding you, they tearing your ass up too. Then you got the other ones. They just plain evil. They attacking you. They fucking you up in your sleep. You sitting there, you stuck, you froze, you trying to move, you trying to pray or do whatever you trying to do. None of that shit don't work. Prayer don't work. They're gonna cover your mouth. You're not gonna be able to say nothing. Half of y'all gonna be suffocating. You know, that is about to take place. The portal opened 2 days ago, actually. When the portal opened, you can smell them. I can smell them. This is how I know when people being attacked all night in their sleep. I go outside and it's an odor. It smells so bad. It stank. It smells like gas or somebody fired it or a rotten egg. That's how I know. And when certain people walk past me, I know they being attacked because I can smell it on them. And then they angry, they mad. And I'm like, ooh, let me hurry up and get away from them. You know what I mean? So I'm just warning y'all that all this wake, because it's astronomical phenomena that's taking place. So just brace yourself. And if you do get attacked, then just come back and and you can talk to me and explain what entity attacked you, because I'm curious to know. I know they open, but I don't know what entities come through at what time, because it's like 4 or 5 different entities that come through and feed off of you at different times. So that's what my little segment was about. Jamie, you had disappeared. Where you went? Oh, a nightmare. And nightmares is all connected. When a lot of y'all having the same dream about you being naked, you're running, you can't fly, parasites attacking you. Yeah, all that shit. It's tearing their ass up. You laughing, but it's serious. They having nightmares. They having nightmares that they being shot up. They having nightmares that they naked. They having nightmares that some type of animal trying to aid them. When they look in the mirror, they hate what they see. They don't even know that it's connected to the other information that I'm gonna provide later. But all this week, this is about to be happening. And anybody that don't believe me, I challenge me. I'm 100% confident, because I know when the portals open, I can smell them. I can feel.
Okay, so that obviously that was a whole lot. I'm going to actually go ahead and dive in first this time. I typically don't go first, but I'm going to go first this time. So, um, I can definitely agree with some of the stuff that she said, because that sleep paralysis bullshit or whatever, that shit is 100% real. Because I remember as a child, boy, dumb motherfuckers used to attack the shit out of me. Like I'm talking about the jumping on your back and stuff like that, and then you can't speak, like she said. Yeah, it do that shit for real. Them motherfuckers be attacking the shit out you, and then like you should try to, like she was saying, I should try to pray and stuff like that because it used to scare me so much. And then me personally, it kept doing it to me until I finally, because at first I used to wrestle with it, and could never get it up off me. Until eventually, I think once I turned 15, I was strong enough to finally throw it above me, and I literally heard it hit the floor. And I woke up to try to look down. It was nothing there, but I heard it hit the floor, which is crazy as hell. And like ever since then, it stopped coming. But I still used to fight like the in dreams, having these like shadow like figures trying to attack you in your goddamn dreams. So I know exactly what the hell she's talking about with a lot of this shit.
And that portal is open this week. It's going down.
Now that don't bother me no more. I haven't seen any of them,
Charger.
very long time. But back then, hell yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to go? Taj, yours already
Solo.
Solo.
All right. I try to be a gentleman, so I just wanted to make sure Solo didn't want to go.
No, you can go ahead.
All right. So, Cairo, what do you say to the people who plead the blood of Jesus to rebuke these? What you call them again? Are they entities or
Supernatural beings.
they're what?
Supernatural beings.
Supernatural beings, and that's scientific. All right, because they're just in the higher dimensions, right?
Not dimensions and realms.
Realms. All right, so yeah, like Jamie and you just said, when we go to sleep, those are realms. All right, so like when you having a nightmare, And Kenny K, I'm gonna read Kenny K comment real quick because I'm gonna use his comment to kind of make my point. So Kenny K, what up, little homie? Damn, I'm trying to find his comment. He say, okay, here we go. Kenny 2K say, I be having nightmares of dying, which is not funny, but I just wake up and grab this Draco. That part to me, kind of coming from that environment, that part is kind of funny. The second part of your sentence. So using that comment, I be having nightmares of dying, but I just wake up and grab this Draco. Now, Kenny K, and I want to ask everybody else, whether you listening now or later, the panel and everybody that's in the chat, super chat and comments, what pulls you out of those nightmares?
For me,
yeah,
I learned how to wake myself up. So when I realize that I am having a bad dream and something that is happening to me, I'm dreaming, I wake myself up and then go back to sleep.
I heard that. Solo made that sound smooth as a motherfucker.
You know what? I used to like before I learned to do that, I used to sit through the whole dream before I started realizing in my sleep that this is a dream. And then I force myself to wake up.
Solo, let me ask you this. So based off my education knowledge, that's called lucid dreaming, right, Cairo? So I just want to see if we all on the same page with that. And everybody can't do that, right? So
well, go ahead. I want to hear what you're saying.
Now I'm asking, so can we define that as Solo has the ability to lucid dream?
I wouldn't say it's lucid dreaming, it's different. Because I'm talking about when these entities come in there attacking you. And like he said, when he said I want to talk about that, but I don't want to give people too much right now. Why are you having these nightmares? What create these nightmares, right? It's all connected with these entities that's allowed to feed off of you. That's why when you have people come out, that's why my elders told me, hey, stop running your mouth. That's why when you have a lot of people talking about like change your diet, like Dr. Sebi, Left Eye, Nipsey Hussle, all these abolitionists, the government take you out because food is energy, right? It's information. Mm-hmm. So anything exists needs energy in order to keep, to keep going. Now, if these entities are not allowed to eat, that's the big mystery. You know what I mean? But the government they know exactly when these things come through, and they don't consume the same food that, people are consuming. And a lot of people are all connected and vibrating on the same frequency because they're all eating the same thing. Like I told you, they have to tell you what they're doing to you. They put it out there. They put it in movies. So if you watch The Golden Child, right? Like I'm a vegan. This is how I figured it out that it's tied into your diet. I used to get attacked too in my sleep. But the difference is when I was getting attacked in my sleep, I would take notes. I would write everything down. And as soon as I changed my diet, I can smell them when they come in my house. They stink. But they wasn't able to pull whatever that was and feed off of me how they used to feed off of me before I became a vegan. Then once all of that animal product was completely out my blood, it was like they could no longer, and I say, oh my God. So I went to studying and I went to researching. And I say, it's all tied up with being carnivorous. That's why the government, when people start trying to wake you up, these abolitionists about change your diet, the government come in and say, off with their head, bring it on a silver platter, because we are in alliance with these supernatural beings and they need to feed, and you the human cattle. You know what I mean?
All right, so Cairo. All right, so I'm gonna just make a statement. I was gonna ask a question, so I'll just make a statement. And I'm so glad you made that pivot to food. The scientific connection to these things being able to feed off you are parasites. So we're not. All right, so this is heavy. I wish I would have had time to prepare for this because I wouldn't waste time. So the parasites is the scientific connection. That's why when you said when you changed your menu, I'm choosing my words carefully. I didn't say diet, which the first three letters is DIE. When you change your menu, you got rid of, and I don't want to just speak on you personally, anybody in general, you're getting rid of those parasites, which is the scientific connection for these things to suck on your energy or to connect to what we were talking about earlier, the nightmares, the cravings. Let's talk about the damn cravings. The parasites are craving certain things. So it ain't spooky stuff. It ain't magic. It's all scientific. How the hell do we get these parasites in these people? What you said, Cairo, put the bacteria. I'm listening to you. So earlier you said food is energy, and that's correct, right?
It's
There's energy in the food, right, Cairo? What is the food? What is the matter? I'm not gonna ask you a question. I'll just make the statement. The matter is the bacteria part. So you're extracting the energy out of the food. So fruits, boom, that's electric energy right there. When you're just dealing with fruits, vegetables. Shout out to Dr. Yaki, man. I learned a lot from Yaki. And the stuff I'm talking about now, I want to give him some credit. He introduced us to the parasitic connection. So this ain't nothing spooky. It ain't ghosts. The things you're talking about, the supernatural beings, is almost like, I'm not saying all of them, but they're able to use the parasites to control your thinking, or at least influence your thinking. That's where some of these cravings come from. You know you don't want to do this, but this craving is so strong, you give in to that. You gave in to the craving, as they say. So I just wanted to add to that sign, because like I said, Cairo, I go as far as I can with things you can measure, but there's a certain thing, the point you made, there's certain things we can't measure with instruments. And that's where belief, faith comes in at. And everybody has their individual right on what higher power they believe in to protect them from enemy energy, if you will.
But you need energy in order to survive, just like parasites, right? Because it's geomagnetic. What I'm trying to say is you need energy in order to survive, and it can be interchangeable. For example, how you said too is facts. It could be connected to like the parasites, because if you have parasites, like I told you, a lot of these doctors and these physicians, they are aware of that. They'll never treat you for parasites. They will never.
Correct.
And you got to ask yourself that question. The only time they treated people was for parasites was during the mad cow disease. And I tell people, no way to determine if you got parasites is if you start craving certain things that you like, because parasites send off these ultra waves too. They communicate. They're like, hey, I want something sweet. I want some sugar. And you like, damn, why I'm having these cravings? It's not even you. It's the parasites.
It's the parasite. So Cairo, it's to me the takeaway point you made was when you got to the food part, because that's how the parasites are getting. They can get in other ways too, walking through certain parts of land.
But you got airborne pathogens too. Bacteria.
Yeah.
It's different type of ways. You know what I mean? That's why I say it's energy. Everything needs energy, like photosynthesis, in order to survive. That's why I say it could be interchangeable. You know what I mean? Those parasites, they have to survive. How are they surviving? Without any energy, without any electric fuel.
They're craving, they're sucking the energy out of us when they're in us. They use us as the host, so that word host connects them to the super, and I'm not saying all of the supernatural beings you're talking about, but that's like a scientific, so people don't think we just making this stuff up or putting it out of thin air. That's why I like to give a scientific connection so people can fact check it and then realize, okay, this is a real thing as far as the cravings and all that
That's
stuff.
That's why I told Jamie, I said, let's do it when that portal's open, so people won't think I'm suffering from psychosis. You know what I mean?
So Cairo, my thing about the portals is, how do people protect themselves from the enemy energy?
You gotta stop. You gotta change your diet. That's the only way.
There it is. All right.
You gotta change diet, menu, whatever word term you want to use. Like that's why
I prefer menu. Go ahead.
Let's go with menu. You know what I mean? Let's go with menu. Let's go with menu. So you gotta change your menu. Like even if you watch The Golden Child, watch that movie. He was a vegan. Remember, The Golden Child is about everything that I'm telling you about. It's other type of entities that's on this planet too, and they can influence you. And they look just like humans. That's why I tell you this conversation is not for people that's shallow, because when I'm talking about, they'll be like, this girl is suffering from psychosis, but this is what the elite knows. This is what the esoteric knowledge kick in. You know what I mean? This is what they know. So if you watch The Golden Child, or if you watch Pootie Tang, a lot of people watch Pootie Tang and don't even know what that was about. Pootie Tang was a vegan. He was telling people, hey, stop eating this meat, stop putting this, rubbing this lotion and all of this stuff in your body, stop wearing this artificial stuff. This is how you are allowed to be attacked. you know. But
Absolutely, we fully agree on that. Keep going.
so if you go back and you watch the movie The Golden Child, the Golden Child didn't eat flesh. That's why they kept pushing that bowl of blood in front of him, which symbolized the flesh.
Ah,
Remember, he kept eating his little leaf.
they
He was a
they
vegan.
hid the blood in the oatmeal, right?
He kept eating his little leaf though, right? So that's like I tell
Yeah.
you, with me, they can't attack me because I'm raw vegan. So I used to couldn't smell them when they come. You can smell them too if you in your house, because they're nocturnal. If you in your house and it's around 11 or 12 something at night, and you just smell something like a funky odor, you like, what the fuck that is? Somebody done fired it. That's them. They waiting on you to fall asleep in that unconscious state so that they can feed off of you. And the only way they can feed off of you is if you carnivorous. But just like I was telling you, in the Golden Child, remember when he kept eating his little leaf, but that entity was coming through that portal, he wanted to feed off of him. He wanted that energy. He said, oh, you gonna eat. And he kept pushing that bowl of blood in front of him. That's the
flew over my head, Cairo. All right. I watched that movie a lot growing up, so I never made that connection. But I appreciate that.
Them other entities that
I actually never seen what about.
It's a good movie. That's the Eddie Murphy movie.
Hey,
I used to watch that movie
you saying that?
So where I gotta tell Charles this because it's important. So this another conversation, right? This D2. Now they got other entities on this planet because I know, you guys was talking about white and black. See, that's a deception. That's what they trick you at, right? You got entities that's on this planet. They all colors. They white, they black, they Asian, they Mexican, they all races. They can influence you through touch, right? It'd be a subtle bump. You don't even know it. And they used to could get me too. And that's when I realized, damn, when I changed my menu, they can't even influence me no more. So you got to pay attention to that. When a person might walk past you and be like, oh, excuse me, brother, and they subtly tap you because they look just like us. Remember on The Golden Child when Eddie Murphy was interacting with dude and he thought that he didn't know that he was a supernatural being.
Golden Child come out? I'm just curious.
When did that movie come out?
That came out in the late 80s.
That's
a throwback classic. Golden
That's
Child.
Why I heard never say it came before.
I just sat next to the guy, just to do a quick shout out to him. It was almost eerie, y'all. I sat next to the guy who played I forgot his name in the movie. He just passed away, so we'll move on. Hey, just thoughts for his positive thoughts.
Wait, Ty,
he played in Golden Child.
Yeah, the Matrix happened.
Is it better?
Yeah, it's better. So remember the old man? Remember he was like the supernatural entity in Eddie Murphy. So look, they got them here, right? And they can touch you. If your menu is like carnivorous, they can touch you and then influence you, and you'll be like, damn, like an hour later, why I'm so angry, or why I'm thinking this, or why because they influence you in a different type of way. And a lot of people don't believe this because they're Orthodox. They only believe in Christianity, and Christianity only teach you one way. It's not teaching you about the other entities, because like if you study theology, a lot of people that became bishop, priests, and popes and all this, they had to take a theology course. They had to. And it goes into depth of what the Bible is really about and who it's about. And it's about like the Anunnakis. It's about all these people, all these deities.
So let me go. I was gonna go there earlier, and I hate to cut. I hope you don't take it as I'm cutting you off, Cairo. But I don't want to forget the thought. I'm older. But when you said Anunnaki,
intellectual conversations, you don't have to worry about.
Are you aware of the breakdown of Israel being broken down into Isis, Amun Ra, and El? Because when you say Anunnaki was they all were the gods. But I guess after I'm not an expert on this. One of the Anunnakis is sort of like the guy who claimed Earth as his domain. And
correct.
They're saying, right. So that's why that particular Anunnaki is a jealous God. Think about this now. So it's right there in scripture, like, yo.
You want it.
Right. So I'm glad. It's amazing how words can trigger memories, because as soon as you said Anunnaki, it reminded me of what I wanted to say earlier. But I'm going to pass the mic back to you because I didn't want to hijack with the point you was making.
Go ahead. You want it. I love holding intellectual conversations.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So, but Cairo, so again, it proves that this world we living in is not spooky. So out of the Anunnakis, it was one of them that said, okay, I'm going to lay behind and I'm going to cultivate this rock called Earth. And I'm going to choose these people called the Israelites. Now, you take the word Israel, it's right there in the Bible.
Create these people.
Create, right. But remember when you say, but hold on, Cairo, when you say create, remember The Torah says, let us create man. So that was a group. Us is plural.
Yeah.
Now let's not tap into Christianity yet. We can get to that if y'all want to. But if you take it, because this predates Christianity, so it proves. Some people say those were the Anunnakis right there when it says let us create man. So when it say let us create man, one of those us they're basically saying is the God of Israel. If this don't make sense to anybody on the panel or in the comment section, let us know. So one of the Anunnakis, which is part of the us, let us create man in our image. They was huge people. That's why they was able to build those pyramids like that. So one
You
of
know
them,
what,
the
Taj?
other
They
was
still here.
so how do they get past? I don't know what the Anunnaki God name is, but the God, whoever follows the Israel laws, for some reason they flourish until they start disobeying Cairo. So my question is, and I want to hear Solo thoughts as well, and Jamie's, how do these supernatural beings you telling us about get past the God of this world? And I'm not talking about Satan or Lucifer. I'm not talking about Satan. I'm talking about the God of Israel, which has a chosen group of people to teach the world how to protect themselves from these supernatural beings you're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay, because you got to think about our universe. Remember, I told you astrology, astronomy, and mathematics is very important. So that's why I told you people that went to theology school and studied theology know, like when, quote, the Jesus in the Bible was like, in my father's home is many mansions. What he was referring to, because, everything is figurative. That's how we communicated. Well, I would say we, because we are our ancestors. That's another conversation too. So some things, the Bible is figurative, right? They use figurative language. So they were talking about like our galaxy. We are in the Milky Way galaxy. That's one. That's one galaxy. It's billions of galaxies, and in each one of those galaxies, they have different solar systems, right? So we are our own solar system. So let's think about another solar system, right? They will have a creation too. That's like the Anunnakis and the reptilians. They are not alliance; they are enemies, right?
Didn't know that. All right.
So it's a chain. So like you have the reptilians, you have the Anunnakis, you have other deities. It's a council. If you ever watch Star Wars, because I'm still studying it too, but some things it's like it's intuitive because it's in our DNA,
Right.
But if you ever watch Star Wars, whatever it is, when you see the council, you see everybody around. This person was in charge of this one. This person was higher than this one. This person was on another level. In reality, that's just how it is. Some people just stop at God. But who created God? If you do believe in God,
There's 3,000 different gods. Man created God. The Creator made man. I want everybody. Let me say that again in English before y'all jump on me. Man created God. The Creator made man. Does that make sense?
yeah, I know this, but sometimes you got to speak on people terms because a lot of people, they don't know that. So when I say God, like obviously I wasn't born in a home where, we had God and Jesus. That shit was like, I couldn't even go to people's house that was Christians. Like my grandparents was like, no. I remember I went to one of my friend's house and she had these Caucasian people on the wall. I guess and even that's esoteric. But I went home and I was telling my grandpa, like, she had these Caucasian people on the wall, and I didn't know it was the Last Supper. She was just trying to explain it to me. And after that, like, I couldn't go by nobody's house that was Christians. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's go. So let's go before Christmas.
Hey, real quick.
Uh-huh.
I mean, y'all been cooking for a good little minute.
We've been cooking for you. Yes.
I mean, I've been trying not to intervene too, which I mean, y'all been going probably like 30, 40 minutes straight.
My bad.
I'm not even exaggerating. That's the crazy part. But I also want to, get, so in case Solo, she may have anything she want to intervene. I know I'm sure she don't want to interrupt y'all. And then on top of that, I have some comments where they were asking questions. I want to address some of them. So first, Solo, if you have anything you want to share, go ahead.
Old, not an
Well, I mean, the only thing I would comment on is Taj's question about these people, these sort of big people that. Taj, are you talking about the people in the Bible? The like when the angels were mixing with the humans and they created?
Yes.
The Nephilim.
Yes. They were giants. It would be easy for them to build pyramids. Go ahead, Solo.
So are you asking if they, maybe I haven't read that in the Bible, but I do know that they were like these big people. I don't know how the earth was like wiped clean of them though. I'll be honest and say that. I don't know. I thought that it was that before or after the flood?
That was
That's
before
before the flood.
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah,
flood.
okay.
Right.
So the flood is how it happened then.
Yes.
I would
The
say.
flood is the disobedient. Flood is the disobedience of people, us. The people you talking about, the fallen, or as Cairo said earlier, the Anunnaki, and I'll be the first to say I'm not an expert on it, but they were here. They was here to kind of develop the planet. And so the people you talk,
So you
the
think that they
giants, it
built?
was like
You think
still to
that
this day
they?
we look at the
You think that they built the pyramids in like Egypt and made these, maybe
Solo.
wonders of the world? You think that they built those sort of sites
Hell
and
yeah,
not human slaves?
I do.
So they built it before the flood or
They
after?
may have used human slaves, but they were big enough to be the architects. Because why would that still be a wonder of the world today in 2025? Because we're living out. I gotta move. Living out, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's if y'all remember that movie. We're like the midgets. I shouldn't have said that word because I know that could be offensive to our brothers and sisters that are midgets. But we're sort of like the honey. I feel better saying the Honey I Shrunk the Kids version of the people you're talking about, Solo. But like Jamie said, me and Cairo went long enough. I want to hear you all the way out. Go ahead.
I guess I'm trying to clarify because I'm not there. Maybe this is my ignorance, so I'm trying to figure out exactly where you're going because I don't understand
So
maybe even
Solo,
some of the words.
Solo, let me go back to that scripture. And I want to be brief because Jamie made a great point. When the scripture says, let us make man, it was a group of, let me use the term, gods that created man in their image. When we go to Christianity, Christianity pivots to Jesus Christ. Christianity teaches when they say let us make God, that's Jesus, the Father, and that's it. That's my understanding. That's my comprehension of Christianity. And this is why religion is divisive, because everybody come with their interpretation. Everybody come with their narratives. And I'll leave it there so I don't carry on too long.
Okay, so as it relates to that part, I always assumed that it was God and
Kenny
Jesus.
said, nigga said mention twice. Kenny
When
always. Go ahead, Solo.
it was my understanding that maybe it was God and who we call Jesus.
But that's Christianity teaches, and I'm not here to talk anybody out. If anybody came up under that doctrine, what
It's
the
actually
Israelites, because the Israelites disagree with that. This is why religion is so divisive. Because the Jews and the Israelites say, well, we don't believe that was Jesus when that scripture says, let us make man. They believe that was, if you want to say Anunnaki, what you call them, Jamie, the Nephilim, the fallen, that was the gods of that time. And the connection the topic me and Cairo was chopping up was one of those Anunnaki, Nephilim, whichever one you want to name, they claim this planet rock as their domain. And then they chose a special group of people. And this is so when Cairo mentioned Anunnaki, which is connected to Egypt, when you break down the word Israel, and you could everybody look in their Bible, and you will say they always separate the IS, which is ISIS. It's a circle right there. Then it's RA for Amen Ra, and then it's L. All three of those are like three. Remember, the pharaohs were gods, and Egypt is in the Bible. So I'm just sharing with the audience and everybody listening. Those are the distinctions, and all that water boils down to our own personal belief. And I'll stop right there. So that regardless of what I just said, your personal belief matters, not what I'm saying. What resonates in your soul? Take it from there.
Okay, so hold on. I was about to say something. I lost it. We'll come back. It'll come back. Anyway, I want to go to the comments to let some of these questions also get answered because they
I'll
did.
jump in there with you. I'll jump in there with you. Go ahead, Jamie. Elliot, so
So
Kenny,
here's,
I didn't go ahead, my bad, bro.
yeah, I'm gonna go because it's actually been there a while, but like I said, I was trying to give y'all time to land, but that plane was still going. So I had to, eventually go ahead and put the Twin Towers in the way and crash them because
Yeah.
they play.
Right.
But
Moderate.
anyway,
That's what the moderates do. Moderate the social emotions. Go ahead, bro. You got it.
so with this, let me see, we're gonna go all the way up. I remember this one here. Ali asked. She was saying, "Is this why we are told to fast?" She basically wrote this question when in regards to, I think when you were speaking on the, as she said, the diet and Taj had you referred to as the menu.
Right.
So
Yes, the menu.
so the
So
fasting helps with that. That's what she's asking. Go ahead.
so
Yes. Hell yeah,
Ramadan, right?
fasting. Go ahead, Cairo.
Ramadan is related to that. I told you the government knows. That's why all of these holidays, they all connected to planetary alignment. If you don't believe me, go back and do your research so you can know. Because this one, these entities, these spiritual, supernatural beings, that's when they're allowed to come through. So that's why they got Fat Tuesday, right? Because they knew that portal was open. Because like Easter, like I forgot, you know what I mean? But I know Easter is like after the first equinox of the year or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's related to something like that, right? So the
Uh-huh.
same thing with Ramadan. It's a time when this portal is open and they don't want to get fed off or through these entities. So let's just go back right to Fat Tuesday. So when they have Good Friday and Fat Tuesday, during that period of time, a portal is open. So they're not allowed to eat because these entities coming through and they're about to feed. So they don't eat during that time. So when Tuesday come around, that portal is allegedly closed. So they can feast. They can eat everything they want to eat because that portal is closed now. And it's all information that's out there, but you got to be careful with the government, right? You got to go deeper than just trying to research on your phone. You got to go to the library. You got to look up from different places because the government is trying to monopolize everything. They want to hide the truth from you. They want to keep you docile. Certain information that you research on your phone, they're not going to give you access to that. You got to go somewhere else. They're going to try to limit you because we are part of this what does they call it, algorithm, this matrix. And a lot of people don't know this. We are our ancestors because energy cannot be destroyed. It's just transferred. And goes back to those to the
Facts.
pyramids thing that I was talking about, what that y'all talked about on earlier. A lot of people know exactly what the pyramids are, what they were created for, and what was the purpose. Is esoteric. A lot of people know, they believe,
I don't
that.
want to get too distracted. I just want the question to get out. I'm sorry because it's
Okay,
gonna
no, I get it.
we gotta get
So
out of
anyway, so that's why you are told to fast, because they know that that portal is open and you're about to get ate. You're about to get ate. You're about to be paralyzed, sitting there, standing, can't move, and whatever coming through that portal about to feed off your ass. They're
I
about to
heard
eat you.
that. They done
there. Okay.
And
brought
it's
they done
different
brought
entities
Erica.
that come through.
They done they so all right, they brought Erica Badu name and I just want to say this real quick, solo Cairo J. Erica Badu is just she's a public star, she's a celebrity, so of course I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. But remember earlier we said the Bible is based before leaving Earth, and to me, Erica is someone who went beyond the basic part of the Bible, and she's into her belief, faith, spirituality, and we as fans and community members of her, whatever she say that makes it goes back to our soul party, people. Whatever resonates in your soul, just like we got unique fingerprints. I don't know what the hell you feel in your soul. So if Erica say something that resonates in your soul and not mine, and vice versa, do what you do with it. And that's my thoughts on her. I'm not afraid of people who go beyond the basics. It's like somebody in high school that don't want to go beyond basic math. It's called basic for a reason. And then you got the advanced versions of math, calculus, trigonometry, and all the other ones. That's it.
Okay, so let me address another one. She also asks, was this the book of Enoch? So I know the answer to that one. A lot of that information was in the book of Enoch. when it talk, because that's like the only one where it actually goes deep into talking about the Nephilim or Anunnaki and stuff like that. These giant beings that were walking the earth. They actually gave the names and stuff of some of them doing this stuff in the book of Enoch. So yes, a lot of that is in there.
All right. Kenny, hilarious. I was reading one of Kenny comments, but back to you, Jamie. Back to you.
Wait, Taj, why you just sound like a news reporter? Back to you, Jamie. Back to you.
that's my way of passing the mic back to. Sometimes I say pass the mic. That's just my way of letting them know I'm done. I'm shutting up. I'm back quiet.
So here's another one. How do Cairo? I'm guessing this one's for you. How do you know if you being attacked? Is it possible you could be getting attacked and not know it? Because everything I'm going through trying to fight a corrupt system, and now hearing y'all is making me wonder.
So my question to that is, you have to change your menu. When you change your menu, right, you no longer could be physically attacked or spiritually attacked. If your menu is carnivorous, then you are subject to being attacked from all different angles, from all different sides. And that's the solution. The solution is easy. They want you to think that it's difficult, but it's not. But food is like a drug. It's in your blood and you crave it, and it's getting harder and harder to change your menu with all of these artificial animal products that they're making. But the only thing that you have to do is change your menu, and it activates something into you spiritually where you can see the matrix. A lot of people see you vibrating on a different vibration. If you watch Superman, he wasn't on the same vibration. When they had to communicate to him, they was communicating through him from a whole nother vibration, and they told him, hey, only you can hear this, everybody else can't. So a lot of people, that menu is the same, they on the same vibration, and they all getting attacked from different angles. But the solution is so simple. Change your diet.
Right.
Your menu.
Your
That's
menu.
what the government don't. Yeah, that's what the government don't want you to do. Look at all the abolitionists or the activists that start speaking on change your menu. Off with their head. And you gotta, why is that?
Yeah.
Why you don't want me to change my menu?
Because you taking money from big pharma at that point.
Then you'll be able to see. You won't watch television no more, because that's the real sorcery. That's the real Black Mirror. You won't be worrying about Louis, Gucci, Vuitton, and all of that foolishness. You become conscious. It's something that activates something in you where you can see the whole, and you like, oh, this is what it is. And that's what they're afraid of. You know why? Because they can't monopolize. They can't control. They cannot control. Now think about if we all become conscious like this and change our menu, we'll take that power back. You're no longer docile. Your ability is no longer dormant, because everything is geomagnetic, and that's what they don't want. Trust me, I know, because I was carnivorous too at one point. But when I changed my menu, I started to take notes, and I started to go back and compare. And that's when it became, I say, whoa, this is deep. But you got to be careful.
Y'all don't think it's crazy? Hey, y'all don't think it's crazy that they just added one letter to the word die, and they got humanity just decades, for centuries we've been saying diet, and it's all, and we all powerful when we speak that vibration. And they didn't even try to hide much. They just added one more. Yeah, die. Put it right in our face. So that's the reason behind that. But I love my takeaway from connection to what you said.
That connection cooked.
That's it.
I know his connection. Guys, I can hear you.
That connection cooked you like last 3 seconds.
That's the government. Better. They know we talking about something deep.
Yeah, for sure. You know that.
There you go. I can hear you. What was you saying?
No, I was saying my greatest takeaway from your point was when you made the scientific connection through the food. You're saying there, if we can manage our menu, then we got a stronger chance of fighting off these, what I would call, is it okay to call it enemy energy? Because if they suck it, that's just like a mosquito. A mosquito is enemy energy because it's sucking your blood, and energy is in the blood. And so are these supernatural beings? Are some of them enemy energy?
They well, most definitely, because they need to feed off of you in order to survive.
So that's
But
the
the thing
enemy.
about why I
All
say,
right.
yeah, why I say change your menu and it's so important, because you can really see they have black people thinking we are the enemy. You know what I mean? But if you change your diet, then you will be able to like become consciously aware that we are not each other enemy. But it's all associated with television. You know, like I'm gonna just say this, and I'm not gonna go too deep. When people talk about they doing sorcery and they talking about they witches and painting the mirror black and lighting these candles, that's not the real sorcery. The real sorcery is keeping you in a trance through television. You know what I mean? It's deep, and the government know this. But you got to change your menu. That's the first start. You know, you can't be attacked. They can't attack you. I told you, it's entities on this planet. You would think that I'm suffering from psychosis, but this is facts. They look just like you. They're in human form, and they can touch you and influence you too. And you running around thinking, damn, why I got angry all of a sudden, or why I'm going off on this person, or why I got so much anger in me, or why I hate myself. It's all connected. These people
Okay.
feed off of this type of energy.
All right.
These entities. The diet is the first thing. Change your menu. You know,
Menu,
I gotta
straight
break
up.
that
Right
habit.
up.
You know, I've been using diet for a long time. But
It's all
I
up. This,
like
that's
menu.
what we here to
Change
do.
your menu.
That's what we here to do, Cairo. Each one teach one. We here to help each other. Go ahead, Jamie.
Change your menu.
Straight up.
Okay, so that was a very deep convo and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. But definitely good stuff with that. Y'all want to in on that? We're gonna go ahead and go to AI because, as we know, AI as of late has fastly been moving, changing our lives in multiple different ways. Some see it as the change as negative, and some are looking at it as a positive. So us as the black culture, it definitely will affect us heavily once AI peaks. Because for one thing, these same government entities and stuff like that that's controlling stuff, they're going to absolutely train it to do stuff to keep us in our black in our place. And on top of that, the jobs that typically we work is what's going to be replaced. So I would like to get the each one and every one of you guys take on what you think the fate of us is and how we should be looking at it, how to deal with it with the rise of AI. We're gonna start with Solo.
Let's go, Solo.
For me, of course, I'm a little ignorant because I don't know exactly what's going on with AI and where it's going. But based on how the internet blew up, I could imagine that AI is going to blow up as they perfect the software. What I primarily look at as it relates to AI